Hey guys, I'm Matthew, and today I'm going to teach you how to make a cool sign like this on the ShopBot.
Key things to look at on this screen here, we just want to make sure that we know the tool number with the operation, which is in the top right corner. So here's our GoCat sign. We're going to make sure that we have all of our toolpaths selected. We're going to make sure we output all visible toolpaths to one file, and we can save it as ShopBot inches and save the toolpaths to the file. I think we're going to call this GoCats, and just make sure that you know what tools you're using and what order they go in. So here's our power switch. We want to make sure that's on for the machine to run. So right now we're going to put the workpiece into the machine bed. You really want to make sure that the workpiece is flush with the bottom left corner here of the machine bed. It's very, very important that it is as flush as possible with that bottom left corner. Now we're going to put our screws into the corners of our workpiece. When we're doing this, it's really important that the board is flush. Later on we'll home it in the Z, so you want to make sure it's as flush as possible. So now we're going to open up ShopBot, which is called SB3 here. Then we're going to select our file either through that File tab on the top left or by pressing Cut Part in the Preview mode. Either way, you'll get this prompt here to select your file. It should be called GoCats. Press Start, and then this should give us a previewed version of our file here. Make sure you're in the preview mode or else you will not get this. So this is just going to show us our file. We're going to make sure we have tabs and everything else we need. It looks good. Now we are going to exit out of the preview and prompt it here to switch to Move Cut mode. Click that, and now we're into Move Cut mode. This is the spindle switch here. It needs to be on for the machine to work, but you can change it by turning that key. Now we're going to home the machine in the XY by clicking this button here. This is going to happen when you press that button, so don't be alarmed if you see the machine moving. This is perfectly normal. Once the XY homing is complete, this pop-up will show up here, and just click OK. So now we're going to go over tool install here. So I have a tool, I'm going to put it into the collet here, make sure there's a little bit of shaft hanging out there, but not too much. Then we want to take the collet and put it on top of that threaded part of the machine spindle. So that'll look like this, and we'll spin these clockwise and counterclockwise respectively. You can always spin them the other way if it's loosening and it needs to be tightening, or vice versa. Then we'll take our wrenches. The one in my left hand is going to go around the collet. The one in my right hand will then attach to the spindle. Tighten those down. I always get confused on which one does what, so I just kind of try it and guess and check here. Now we're going to set up the machine for the Z homing process. You'll need this metal plate here with the alligator clip and plug attached to it. We're going to take this plate and we're going to put it in the middle of our workpiece, and then we're going to take the plug and plug it into the top right part of the machine there, just like this right there. And then we'll take that alligator clip and we'll put it around the tool. Make sure it is around the tool and not the spindle, just like that. This is the E-stop button here. If anything goes wrong, go ahead and hit that button. If it sounds weird or anything like that. Now we're going to hit this calculator button. This is not a calculator, but more like a controller. And we're going to take these arrows and we're going to move our tool so that it's on top of the metal clip. So we really want to make sure that big metal plate right there and our tool are right on top of one another, just so that when the tool moves downward in our Z homing process, it touches the metal plate. So again, the tool, we want to make sure that's right on top of the metal plate. Great. When we have that all set up, we'll exit out of our calculator here and press that Z button there, and that'll home the machine in Z. Again, it's going to move up and down, so don't be startled. And when it's finished, the screen will show you that it is finished. So it's important that the spindle is on, so we can turn this key to the 1 position to make sure the spindle is on. So now we're going to remove our alligator clip, metal plate, and plug. Just unplug the plug, undo the alligator clip, and pull it all out of the machine. We definitely don't want that in there when the machine is running. So we are going to adjust the spindle controller on the right here. This little knob, you turn that and we can go any number we want to. For this, I'm going to use around 284, but that depends on the tool and what you're cutting. So definitely don't just put it at 284 because I did. And we will close the doors here and get ready to cut. So now we've homed the Z and we've homed the XY. So all that's left is to press cut part, select our file, select open, press start, and we will be prompted with a pop-up that talks about making sure the spindle speed is what we want it at. Again, calculate this on your own, don't take the machine's word for it. And we'll select OK, and when we select OK, the machine will turn on, the spindle will also turn on, and you'll start cutting your part. Key thing here, if you click the mouse or press any button on the keyboard, the machine will stop. That's in case you have some minor issue that you want to change. If you have an urgent issue, please press the e-stop button. Do not wait. So here I'm going to change the tool to our cutting bit. Again, it's the same process as before. You put the tool in, you hone the tool, and once it's homed, take everything out, press start again. So now we're done. I'm going to take the piece out. You can sometimes break the tabs off. Usually you should be able to break the tabs off. I messed up a little bit on this one, so I had to use a bandsaw. Go ahead and sand the edges if you want, and this is the design.